Hey guys, welcome to BJC Oz Adventures again. Today we're talking about a few different things. Coming out the bush again, which is great. So we're I think we're just getting out of restrictions now, pretty much. Across Victoria, I mean. We've been out of restrictions for probably a week or so now. So, I mean lockdown, I should say. Which is awesome because we can come out here in the bush again. And yeah, talk about stuff, explain stuff, and do things again out in the bush and explore like we always do, which is the whole point of the channel. It's the whole point of what we do. Today, I want to talk to you guys a bit about hand tools. Now, you guys might have your own idea about hand tools. You might have other tools that you take. If you do have other ideas, please let me know. This is just what I take with me. And there is some stuff left in the car. But basically I'll just run through all my hand tools and other bits and pieces that I carry with me all the time in my ute. Some people will say, oh, it's a bit too much. Now, there's things I haven't included here. I've got an Arb Tyre Repair Kit, which I suppose is a tool. I've got two bottle jacks, a larger one and a smaller one. Probably could just go with one, but I go on the basis of two that I can jack up with one, the smaller one, if I need a smaller bit to get under. A smaller area to get under, I mean, and then I can switch over to the other one when that one runs. So while that one holds, I can switch over to another spot with the other one and jack with that one. So that's just the way that I do it. Of course, there's a wheel brace in there as well, and the equipment to get the tyre down. I've got a Hilux ute, so to get the tyre down from the back, just make sure before you go anywhere that you've got all the tools that come with your car. That you need to basically get the spare tyre down, because it lowers down on a chain and that sort of stuff. So just make sure you've got all of that. Also, before I get into this stuff, if you've got an OBD car, and I will talk a bit about it, but if you've got an OBD car, make sure an OBD port on your car. It's like a little port with 5 pins. It's normally somewhere around the steering wheel, under the dash there somewhere. I highly recommend, if you're going out in the bush, and you've got a car that is OBD2 or whatever it might be, make sure you've got a reader of some sort, all right, so that you can find out if an engine light or something comes up, you can sort of find out what it is. In order to do that, though, a lot of us, we look up a code on our phone. So if it throws a code, we can plug our reader in and we can read the code. That's all fine, but a lot of the time, the actual code reader doesn't give us a real lot of information, unless of course you've got a real good one. But I just take one that'll allow me to read and clear codes basically. But what I want to tell you about is, it'll give you the code, so that's all fine. Now the good thing is, just make sure that, and I'll start with these, that you've either got a workshop repair manual. This is just the Haynes one, but it's fine for my ute. But also make sure, and I know it has got in here, but just make sure you've got all of, and I also add all of the OBD codes. And I've printed them out here and what they mean, and some common fixes for why it would throw those codes. Okay, so there's some solutions or common solutions that it might be, is it just cleaning a sensor or something like that? So that's super handy, because remember, out in the bush you may not always have phone reception. So I sort of put these down as sort of a tool, as a hand tool, and I just think it's one of those things that we sort of forget about until you're out in the bush, and then you think, it'd be nice to be able to read and know what that code is. Just make sure you've got an OBD reader and you've got a list of codes printed out, or even on your phone, just a screenshot of what the codes mean, or just something like that. All right, so that's the first thing there that I recommend. Sorry guys, it is a little windy here, so I'm hoping the mic isn't too bad and you can still hear me all right. But we'll get started on these hand tools, and we'll start down and we'll just work our way across, I guess. So first off, down here we've got basically a clamp, which just a clamp. I use that clamp, which is basically to act as a vice pretty much out in the bush, all right? So I can sort of rig up something where you can hold something with this, drill a hole into it if you need to, or whatever. So a clamp is pretty much what I take. This little pouch here, and I've started to go to these little pouches. As you can see, they look pretty new because they are. I just thought they're a good idea. I'm trying to cut down on weight and things, and you look at this and say, oh, that's a lot of tools and a lot of sockets and a lot of bits and pieces. Sure, it is, but I'd rather have the things I need to be able to do the job than not have enough. I've had some dramas where I can't fit in with certain ratchets and things, so where the 3/8 will fit and the 1/2 inch won't, stuff like that. So yeah, I just like to have the stuff I need. You know, you guys might decide that's not what you need, which case that's perfectly fine, don't take it with you, but this is just what I take with me. And yeah, so the clamp, these little pouches, which are really good if you want to know what these little pouches are, super cheap. They're just a Tool Pro brand, pretty simple, but I reckon they're cool because it keeps everything organised. So in here, I've just got some like thread sealant tape in here, some, what do they call this? Fleece tape. Some fleece tape, if you don't know what that is, that's really cool for like car wiring and that sort of stuff. So that, electrical tape in here. I've got a paint pen, which is really handy for marking something. If you need to take it off, you can mark where it goes. So if you need to align something, paint pen is really handy. I highly recommend that one. I've got yeah, electrical tape. I've got some hose fittings for my Julka hot water system thing. In here I've also got a specific impact socket. Now that impact socket matches my wheel nuts. Okay, so that's why that's in there, because I know it's in there and I can just grab it for my mid-torque impact that's in there, the Milwaukee one, 1/2 inch impact. And yeah, as I said, just some air fittings, little air fittings and just extra bits and pieces. But that's pretty much all that's all in there. But I know that I can go there and straight away grab my yeah, grab that impact that I know is going to fit. So it's quicker to change tyres. I've just got that system. So most of this stuff fits in the drawers in the back of my ute, one side of the drawers. So, but I don't really mind because I know that I need tools when I need them. So you know, I can just pull the drawer out, grab what I need, and go for it. The other thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about jacks is 2 bits of timber. So I've got 2 bits of timber in there that I use for putting under the jack if it's on a bit of soft surface or something like that, so I can use that for that. This little bag contains a heap of 1/2 inch, 3/8 and 1/4 inch like adapters, swivel bits, and like adapters from 1/2 inch to 3/8 and the other way and a 1/4 inch. So it's just got a heap of those. It's also got, yeah, just some all the attachment bits and pieces, but yeah, like the 1/2 inch swivels and yeah, all that sort of stuff. So you never know, they're all just handy, so that's what I keep in there. The good thing about these bags, it keeps them all together, and I've just written on there what's in there so I can see it from a distance. This is a bag of rags, just rags, it's just simple. I've put a roll of tape here, a roll of gaffer tape. This is Gorilla brand, but there is a brand that I want to talk to you about. Now, I've worked in the entertainment industry for a while, the technical side, the production side of the entertainment industry. There is one brand of tape, it's called Nashua, Nashua, gaffer tape, black, Nashua 357 it is. It's the best. Okay, so I've just got a roll of this because that's what I had. It was just a roll that was sitting around. So, but I actually recommend the other brand. Now it's pretty expensive. You can get it from J-Car, but it is expensive. But I reckon it's the best. So, highly recommend that. Just my advice. That's just roller Bunnings, cheap, whatever. I've got some welding rods, which is hopefully you never need them. But again, it's just they're there if I need them. I've included them in here because I just put them down as being a tool, so that's that. I've got some extensions, some 3/8, some 1/2 inch extensions, as well as some 1/4 inch as well. When I get into that, I'll talk to you, but I've basically got all the types of 3/8, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch, because some stuff will fit in places that other stuff won't. So, I don't know, I've just had dramas trying to fit ratchets in places and things like that, so I just bring them all. You might decide not to, totally up to you, but yeah, that's just my thing. A breaker bar, this probably isn't quite long enough, and I don't carry a bit of pipe, but probably I should, but I could always tie something to that, like a tyre lever, and get a bit more out of it if I wanted to. But I do have a 1/2 inch mid-torque impact, Milwaukee impact. So this very rarely gets used, but I like to keep it in there anyway. But yeah, a breaker bar, tyre levers. I've got 2. I'll just tape them together. But yeah, just generic tyre levers. Hopefully they never get used, but they're there anyway. As I said, I've got a tyre repair kit in the car as well. And of course an air compressor and all the bits that go with it. But I just wanted to talk, I suppose you could say that they were hand tools as well, but yeah, oh well. A pry bar, 2 pry bars, a bigger one and a smaller one. These get used quite a lot. And again, these are just Tool Pro brand from Super Cheap Auto. The good thing I like about Super Cheap Auto and some of their Tool Pro brand is it's got a lifetime warranty. And they're pretty much in every major town you've got a Super Cheap Auto. So you can just take it in and change it over as far as I'm aware. I haven't had to, but I'm pretty sure that's the idea. And that's why I started off buying Sig Chrome and decent stuff. And then I thought, yeah, but why, when you've got lifetime warranty, the gear's okay. The Tool Pro stuff's not too bad, depending on, it's hit and miss, of course. But for a bit of, steel, whatever, as a pry bar, just a tip, I use these a lot for temp pegs. So getting under a temp peg and ripping them out. So yeah, but pry bar handy as well as car stuff, of course, but that's just a little camping tip. Here is all my metric sockets, a full set of metric from 10 to 27 mil. I do have axle nut sockets in there as well, but yeah, I didn't bring them, but I didn't get them out. But yes, there is that in there. So yeah, again, in these bags, it's like a whole set, but I've taken it out of the ABS plastic sort of case and put them in these. It's a lot smaller. But yeah, so just some impact sockets, the 6-point proper impact sockets. And as I said, there's one out of there in this little bag that's up the front, because that's my wheel nut socket. All right. Sorry guys, lots to talk about. And I've got a runny nose just because I just started. Of course, it's always when you start doing a video that you get a runny nose. But we'll work our way along. Now this bag, there's heaps of stuff. I'll keep running through it all. If you want to watch it, watch the whole lot. You might be interested, it might be something you've forgotten. But yeah, it's handy. Now, some of these tools are brand new, because I want to keep a set of tools at home and a set of tools out the bush. So what I've done, I've bought new in my ute and kept my old tools out in the, old tools at home in the shed and new tools here. So in this little bag, and I've put it in a Sig Chrome bag. I did have a Vito Pro Pack Tech Pack backpack, expensive, but I've gone for this Sig Chrome tool bag, which is, I think it's all right. It takes up a lot less room, and so yeah, I've sort of gone through it all. I had a lot more tools. I had all sorts of stuff, and I've really tried to cut down on weight because, as you know, we want to cut down on as much weight as we possibly can when we're at the bush, and because by the time you start adding water and rooftop tent for me, and extra fuel if you need it, and just stuff like all your camping stuff and camp ovens and that, it just adds more and more weight, which I'm really trying to reduce that as much as I can. And then you'll probably look at this and say, well, that's way too many tools. Yeah, I know, but I've used most of them out the bush, so it's just one of those things that, yeah. Anyway, all right, so a set of screwdrivers. So a whole set of screwdrivers. They're just screwdrivers, Phillips and flat blade screwdrivers. A pair of linesman pliers. Okay. Yeah, you need a pair of pliers. I've got a pair of side cutters as well. I use these all the time. Side cutters to cut cable ties and stuff all the time. They're just super handy, so I need them. And a pair of long nose pliers, or needle nose pliers, whatever you want to call them. So also get used quite a bit as well. And they're handy because if you need to get into a certain spot, they're just super, super handy. A magnetic tray, I think good for out the bush. In case you're in sand or something, you take something off, I can put the, nuts and bolts and whatever in there. So yeah, I do keep one of them, which I think's pretty handy. In here, I don't know what's in here. As I said, I've only just sort of done this, so we'll see what's in. Oh, this is, alright, so this is a whole lot of little picks, and like hose remover tools to get in under the hoses, like radiator hose, break that seal, stuff like that. So there's a whole lot of those in there, different sorts of picks and bits and pieces, so handy. But yeah, just a little pick set. I find picks so handy for just removing stuff and electrical connectors and stuff. So I keep them, you know, I just find all that sort of stuff really, really handy. A pair of Ratchet Crimpers. I'll try and run through this a bit quicker. Some wire strippers, the easy type of wire stripper. I take them because it's just so much easier. Grab a bit of wire, put a bit of wire through and pull them, and it just, yeah, takes the sheathing off and all that. So they're super handy. I couldn't go anywhere without them. A ball peen hammer. I got rid of the claw hammer, but the claw I like for tent pegs. Oh, my mind must be going after coronavirus, or not that I've had coronavirus, but after the restrictions, I just can't think like I used to. Anyway, a ball peen hammer, and a pretty big one. Again, Tool Pro. I don't know if you want to know the brands or whatever. Let me know. Metric. Allen keys, so handy. You need them. A full like screw and bit set, that's in there, which is handy. That gets used quite a bit as well. What else have we got? I've got heaps of stuff in here. I mean, where do you stop? Just some brushes, some wire brushes and bits and pieces. We've got some super glue which got used. I don't know what that was for, but yes, it got used, so it's there. Stanley knife, some mini cutters, like mini cutters, which are great. These little Toledo sort of side cutters, mini side cutters, but they're great for cable ties, cutting off, so you don't get that sharp bit on the end of the cable tie. Yeah, you can use sideys and get in close, but a pair of those little ones is great for cable ties. Circlip Pliers for getting in and undoing those. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Let's get rid of that tray, pull out a whole lot of stuff with it. Some sort of long nose, sort of locking pliers, some more wire strippers, just a pair of like thin gloves, mainly for changing fuel and that out the bush, but also if you need to grab something, it's nice to just have a thin pair of gloves, so I've got that in there as well. I've just got to put everything away because it's pretty windy out here, so hopefully you can't. Another pair of just locking pliers. An old through Tang flat blade screwdriver, so through Tang meaning that it's connected all the way through basically. There's a bit of steel that you can give it a good hit with a hammer, so that. Flat and round file, just handy to have. I do carry a multi-tool with me, a Leatherman multi-tool. And that's got a smaller file on it, so if I needed smaller files I kind of go to that, but yeah, flat and round file. Two, I think I went down to two, so a large shifter and a smaller shifter. If you're in America, adjustable wrench, but they're called shifters here in Australia. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Some more, just a larger pair of locking pliers. Again, you know how handy they are. Super handy. So just a center punch set, but I've got a full punch set down there as well, but just some, yeah. Some smaller bags if I need to put bolts and stuff in, also in there, and some sort of offset long nose pliers, so also handy. Excuse me. Some random drill bits and stuff like that, so like some Phillips bits for the drill, that sort of thing. Some extractor bits for bolts if they snap or whatever. Basically easy outs, but yeah, handy if you get a bolt that's broken. And the last thing I've got in here is just a set of drill bits, so that's pretty much it for in there. yeah, so yeah, that's what's in this tool bag. But yeah, because it's simple, because I can just grab it and I know that I've got most of my tools in there. Which I don't know, it's just, for me, I find it super, like, just even basically handy. Yeah, I don't know, just, if you know, I can just grab the bag and go and do a repair, like a basic repair, because I know, you know, I know what's in there. I know that there's, yeah, what I need in there. Anyway, we'll keep going. I'll put that all away later. Moving down the bottom there, we've got a Sid Chrome. It's a half inch and a quarter inch set. It did have SAE in there, so I've got rid of the SAE. No SAE on my car that I know of, unless I've accidentally installed something that's got SAE. But again, I've taken the SAE out. Hopefully a metric will fit. You could always use a shifter or something. Touch wood, it'll fit if I needed to. But so yeah, pretty much I've got a quarter inch, 3/8 and a half inch set with some extensions and bits and pieces, just because that's what I use. So the blue one's the 3/8 and the red one down the bottom's the half inch and the quarter inch. So yeah, that's just what I take with me. I've got a metal ruler, just handy to measure stuff. It does get used quite a bit. Down the bottom there is a metric spanner set, open and ring spanner set. They get used all the time, and I've added a few bigger spanners to it. Sorry about the wind, guys. Ratchet spanners, open end on one end, and just ratchet spanners, which are awesome. Ratchet spanners are the best idea ever. Punch and chisel set also there. Yeah, handy. Then I move. I've talked about just make sure you've got a repair manual for your car. Just one of those handy things you can have. That I put that down as being a tool, and it's probably an important tool. I've spoken about this in another video, but power tool wise, or battery powered tools, grinder, a half inch mid torque from Milwaukee, and just a standard drill. It's a hammer drill, but just a standard drill. That's all that I really take. Just yeah, grinder's handy for stuff. The impact for tyres is awesome, and just a drill. But I've got another video on all that. Plus I've got some grinder blades and some bits and pieces there. So discs, sorry. Yeah, cutting discs, grinding discs, and just some flap discs in there as well. But that's what's in that one. Over here I've got a few different bits and pieces. In this one is this bag here is my 12 volt or electrical stuff. I won't go through it all right now, but I've also got in this video battery tools, I spoke about my Milwaukee soldering iron, which is awesome. But in here, soldering iron, fuses, a heap of stuff like that, spare light globes for my car, relays in there, cable ties, a heap of cable ties, because everyone uses cable ties, electrical tape, a multimeter in there as well. I wasn't going to go through it, but yeah, just all the stuff electrical wise. There's some spare wire in there, again, fuse kits and whatever. So just stuff that I need to get me out of trouble if I needed to rewire something for the fridge or whatever. So there's also some connectors and that in there as well. So, but yeah, just handy stuff like that. And yeah, so, and these bags are awesome. So it just sort of keeps everything together. So that's pretty much I won't go through the electrical kit. I sort of ran through it quickly there. I can do another video on it if need be, so let me know if you want to know what's in that. But yeah, it's basically everything that you need to do with electrical. So it's pretty handy. I don't know why I've got a runny nose. It was fine, and then I had a drink of water before I started this, and then I started getting a runny nose. So sorry guys. Pretty embarrassing. You set up a whole video and then you got a runny nose. But anyway, so guys, that's pretty much all my tools, hand tool wise. Again, some of it's accessories for power tools, but you know, I just wanted to run through it with you, give you an idea on what I take out the bush. If you guys have got some ideas, let me know. There's things you might add to this, like chainsaws, and maybe if you've got a high lift jack, sure. A shovel. Goes without saying, bring a shovel, but I don't think that's really a tool. I suppose it is. And again, this isn't spare parts either. Probably electrical stuff's a little bit spare partsy, but basically this is all just running over hand tools and stuff like that. But I hope it helped, guys. If you got any questions, let me know. It's going to be quite a long video, I guess, as I've run through all this, so I hope I haven't bored you guys. But I think it's just good. Like when I was starting doing four-wheel driving, I just watched video after video of people talking about tools, and I just find it interesting, and it's just good to know what other people, you know, there might be just even one thing that you've forgotten, and you might want to add it. So that's why, you know, this isn't the all you need kit. Some people might have some better ideas, and you might look at this and say, oh, it's pretty heavy. You know, you could have one single kit. It's not like you're doing a full repair out in the bush. No, it's not. But this, you know, I find if you need to undo a bolt, how are you going to do it if you haven't got the right size socket or something to fit it? You can't. You physically can't do it. So it's just about, yeah, having the tools on board that you might need to be able to do the job you want to do, and basically get you home is really the idea. So, but again, I didn't include spare parts. It's just, yeah, a hand tool, an overview hand tool of pretty much the stuff I use. So I hope that helped, guys. Please let me know in the comments if there's any questions at all. If you got questions about brands, if you got stuff like that you want to know, I'm more than happy to answer it. And yeah, let me know what you guys add that I haven't got here. And hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. I sort of looked in the back of my ute and thought, yeah, there's probably some things in here that I've forgotten tool-wise, because, you know, things get put under the seat in the back of the ute and stuff, like the wheel brace and all that sort of thing. But, yeah, hopefully it helped, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Alright, guys, I'll just give you a bit of a close-up on all the tools and bits and pieces, just in case you wanted to have a look. But apologies for the wind. It is quite windy out here today, but hopefully it's not too bad. So, alright guys, that's basically all my hand tools and bits and pieces. Let me know if there's something you'd like to know more about, or if there's something that yeah, you've added to your kit that I might have forgotten here. There's one other thing that I just realised that I'll mention here as well, is jumper leads. So I've also got a pair of jumper leads, so which I can use with a few different pairs of sunglasses if I needed to do some sort of welding. Then that can happen basically. Yeah, so just making sure that you've got the equipment you need to do the process as well. It's alright having one bit of the process, but just making sure you've got enough bits and pieces to, yeah, do the whole process of, you know, doing the welding side of it, or bits and pieces. So alright guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks very much for watching.